I shouldn't be teaching you this, but here we are. What you're about to hear will change the way you see every human interaction, every relationship, every deal, every smile, and every betrayal for the rest of your life. Most men will never understand this. Your father didn't teach you. Your teachers never dared to whisper it, and society has programmed you to believe the exact opposite. But 500 years ago, one man, Niccolò Machiavelli, uncovered truths so raw, so dangerous, that the Catholic Church banned his book. Leaders hid it under candlelight, studied it in private, and condemned it in public. Why? Because Machiavelli's insights weren't theories. They weren't wishful thinking. They were the operating manual for human nature itself. How people actually behave, how they actually decide, how they actually rise, and how they fall. This isn't about morality. It's not about good guys or bad guys. It's about the truth. And the truth is this: humans are not rational creatures seeking their best interests. They are emotional animals, driven by fear, image, comfort, and survival. And if you don't understand this, you will be used by those who do. So listen closely. What I'm about to share will not make you nice. It won't make you popular. It will make you dangerous. It will make you unshakable, and it will ensure you are never ignored again. Lesson 1. People are not rational. They are emotional. Here's the first truth your father never told you. People don't make decisions based on logic. They don't calculate their best interests and then act accordingly. They decide based on emotion, on what feels good in the moment, on what protects their ego, on what spares them from discomfort. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, and few can feel." What does this mean? People are moved more by appearances than by reality. They don't care what is. They care what looks good. Think about it. Your friend asks you for dating advice, and you give him a logical answer. Choose the girl who respects you, who invests in you, who actually cares. Does he listen? No. He goes back to the toxic one because his ego is addicted to the chase. Your coworker complains about being broke, yet buys Starbucks every morning and scrolls on the latest iPhone. Logic says, save money, budget, invest. Emotion says, but I deserve this small comfort. A woman says she wants a kind man, a respectful man, a stable man. But who does she date? The charming, unpredictable one who makes her feel alive, even if he destroys her in the end. This is the brutal truth. Humans don't follow logic. They follow emotion. So what does this mean for you? Stop trying to convince people with facts. Stop wasting your breath explaining reality. Stop believing that truth alone is enough. If you want to influence in love, in business, in life, you must appeal to feelings, not reason. Want someone to follow you? Don't just tell them what's best for them. Make them feel that following you elevates them. Want to win an argument? Stop bombarding them with logic. Instead, mirror their emotions and redirect them to the conclusion you want. Want to sell an idea? Wrap it in status, in image, in identity. People don't buy the product. They buy the version of themselves it makes them feel like. Remember this: facts don't change minds. Feelings do. The man who masters emotion masters the room. The man who understands appearances controls reality. And the man who insists on logic, who refuses to see this game, becomes a pawn on the board. Lesson 2. Loyalty is never what you think it is. Your father probably told you this. Be loyal. Loyalty is everything. Stand by your friends. Stand by your company. Stand by your woman. And in return, they'll stand by you. Sounds noble, doesn't it? But Machiavelli would laugh in your face, because here's the uncomfortable truth. Loyalty without reciprocity is just being used. Machiavelli wrote, "Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved." Now, don't mistake this. He didn't say never be loved. He didn't say be cruel for no reason. He said this: don't build your security on something as fragile as loyalty alone. Because loyalty is conditional. Loyalty lasts only as long as the benefits flow. And when the benefits stop, so does the loyalty. Think about it. That friend who only calls you when he needs something, that's not loyalty. That's convenience. That company that preaches we're a family while laying people off the second profits dip. That's not loyalty. That's branding. That woman who keeps her options open while expecting you to stay committed. That's not loyalty. That's leverage. So what's the real Machiavellian lesson here? Don't inspire loyalty through weakness. Inspire it through strength, through value, through fear of losing you. Because here's the reality. People are loyal to what they need. If you are strong, competent, valuable, they need you. If you are weak, dependent, always available, they use you. And the second you stop being useful, you'll see just how loyal they really were. Practical power move. Be generous with loyalty, but ruthless about withdrawing it. If someone breaks the contract, if they show you they aren't loyal in return, cut them off, cold and clean. Don't explain. Don't negotiate. Don't chase. Why? Because the moment you reward betrayal with forgiveness, you've trained them to betray you again. A man who continues to give loyalty where it's not returned isn't noble. He's a fool, and fools get walked on. Real-world example. Look at the most powerful men in history. Were they blindly loyal? Never. Julius Caesar was assassinated by the very senators he trusted most. Why? Because he believed their loyalty outweighed their fear. Modern CEOs, the ones who rise to the top and stay there, they know loyalty isn't free. They don't hope for loyalty. They engineer it by making themselves indispensable, by holding leverage, by ensuring betrayal comes at a high cost. Even in relationships, a man who gives unconditional loyalty while ignoring red flags isn't seen as noble by his partner. He's seen as weak, and weakness is never attractive. So here's Machiavelli's warning for you. Be loyal, but strategically. Be loyal to the people who prove their loyalty back. Be loyal to those who raise your value, not drain it. And above all, build yourself so strong that others stay loyal because they fear the loss of you more than they crave the gain of betraying you. Because in the end, loyalty isn't love. Loyalty is calculation. Pause and let that sink in. You've just unlearned one of the biggest lies your father told you. Lesson 3. Your reputation is more powerful than your reality. Your father probably told you, just be yourself. Be honest. Be authentic. People will respect the real you. Sounds nice, but it's also a lie. Machiavelli warned us centuries ago. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Let that burn into your mind. Because here's the brutal truth. Perception is reality in human interactions. Most men confuse authenticity with exposure. They think being authentic means showing everything about themselves, their flaws, their weaknesses, their fears. And what happens? They wonder why people walk all over them. They complain, if people just knew the real me, they'd understand. Wrong. The real you doesn't matter. What matters is the version of you that serves your goals. The power of controlled authenticity. Authenticity doesn't mean being a raw, open book. It means being strategically true. You want to be seen as competent? Stop complaining about problems. Speak only in solutions. You want to be seen as valuable? Don't always be available. Scarcity creates value. You want to be seen as powerful? Stop explaining your decisions to people who have no influence over your life. Strategic authenticity equals consistency plus mystery plus controlled vulnerability. That equation is magnetic. That's how reputations are built. The harsh reality. Men who obsess about being liked never build reputations. They dilute themselves. They try to fit in. They reveal everything. And in the end, they are forgettable. But the man who crafts his reputation carefully, who decides what the world sees and what it never will, that man becomes untouchable. Because people fear what they don't fully understand. And fear is stronger than like. Real-world example. Think about Elon Musk. Do you think people actually know him? No. They know his curated image. Bold, unpredictable, futuristic, and sometimes ruthless. That's his controlled authenticity. Or look at Steve Jobs. People called him arrogant, intense, even cruel at times. But his reputation for genius and vision overshadowed everything else. He wasn't trying to be liked. He was building a myth. Machiavelli's lesson. Your reputation is like armor. Once damaged, it's hard to repair. Guard it with your life. This doesn't mean faking who you are. It means choosing deliberately which parts of yourself to reveal and which parts to keep hidden, because mystery creates respect, scarcity creates desire, reputation creates power. So ask yourself, what do people see when they see you? A man desperate for validation, or a man who is consistent, mysterious, and unshakable? Build your reputation like a fortress, because once you control how people see you, you control how they treat you. Lesson 4. Conflict is inevitable. Always be ready for war. Your father probably told you, stay out of trouble. Avoid conflict. Keep the peace. If you're a good man, people will respect you. That advice may have worked in fairy tales, but in real life, it will get you crushed. Machiavelli said it bluntly. There is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others. Read that again. Let it sink in. Conflict is always brewing, in silence, behind smiles, under the surface of every relationship, every career, every negotiation. And the man who avoids conflict doesn't escape it. He just hands the advantage to someone else. Conflict is always around you. Think about your career. There's always someone waiting for your position. The coworker who smiles to your face is also waiting to take your place the second you slip. Think about relationships. There's always another man ready to step into your role if you get complacent. That's the brutal reality. Think about your social life. There's always someone testing your boundaries. That one guy who throws subtle insults, who pushes your patience just to see if you'll crack. Conflict isn't an accident. It's the default state of human nature. The lion and the fox. Machiavelli gave us one of the most powerful metaphors. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Translation: you must be both cunning and strong. A fox to spot deception, a lion to crush threats when they appear. If you are only a lion, people will outsmart you. If you are only a fox, people will overpower you. But if you master both, you become untouchable. Why preparation matters. Most men wait for conflict to arrive before they get ready. That's why they fail. The powerful man prepares during peace. He builds his skills before he needs them. He saves money when he's making it, not when he's broke. He builds his network before he needs favors. He stays in shape when there's no immediate threat. Because when the war comes, and it will, it's already too late to prepare. Real-world example. Look at powerful nations. Do they only train soldiers when war is declared? No, they're training every day. Their power isn't in waiting. It's in constant readiness. Apply this to your life. The man who is prepared for conflict rarely has to fight. Why? Because people can feel it. They sense your readiness. And predators always choose easier prey. The rule of readiness in business. Have multiple streams of income so you can't be cornered. In relationships, have boundaries so solid that no one dares test them. In life, carry yourself with the calm confidence of a man who knows he can finish what others start. That aura alone, the quiet readiness for war, prevents most battles before they begin. The harsh truth: if you're not preparing, you're already losing. Because somewhere, right now, someone else is preparing to take what you have. So stop pretending peace will save you. Only strength disguised in peace keeps you safe. Machiavelli's wisdom is eternal. War is always coming. You can't avoid it. But the man who is both fox and lion wins before the first blow is struck. Lesson number 5. The myth of niceness. Why being feared is safer than being loved. What's the first thing your father, your teachers, maybe even society told you? Just be nice. Be a good boy, smile. Don't make people uncomfortable. If you're nice, people will like you. Sounds noble, right? But it's a lie. A lie that has turned countless men into doormats, forgotten, ignored, used, and discarded. Machiavelli shattered this illusion 500 years ago. Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved. The truth about niceness: being nice doesn't make you respected. It makes you predictable, and predictable men are weak men. Look around you. The nice guy at work who covers everyone else's shifts but never gets promoted. The nice guy in relationships who bends over backwards for women who secretly find him boring. The nice guy in friendships who's always available, always forgiving, always taken for granted. Niceness is just conflict avoidance, dressed up as virtue. The difference between nice and good. Machiavelli knew this distinction clearly. Nice means avoiding discomfort. Good means doing what's right, even when it's hard. Nice guys say what people want to hear. Good men say what people need to hear. Nice guys seek approval. Good men earn respect. Nice guys avoid difficult conversations. Good men confront them with strength and clarity. You know why women say they want nice guys, but chase bad boys? Because deep down they equate niceness with weakness, and weakness repels. Why fear is safer than love. Let's be clear. Machiavelli wasn't saying to become a monster. He wasn't saying cruelty is power. He was pointing out a timeless truth. Love is fragile. It's conditional. It shifts with moods, desires, and circumstances. But fear endures. The man who is respected, even feared, cannot be easily discarded. People think twice before crossing him. His presence alone demands consideration. Reputation is everything. Your reputation is not about being liked. It's about being respected. Machiavelli said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." Translation: perception is reality. You don't need to reveal every side of yourself. You need to curate what others see. Strategic authenticity, controlled vulnerability, consistent strength. That's how magnetic reputations are built. Practical shifts. Stop apologizing for existing. Say no without explaining yourself. Let your silence create tension instead of filling every gap with chatter. Remove people from your life who only take. Do it ruthlessly, because the truth is simple. If you keep trying to be loved, you'll be ignored. If you carry yourself as someone to be respected, you'll never be forgotten. The final warning. Machiavelli left us this: men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims. That's the fate of the nice guy. Always deceived, always left behind, always forgotten. But you don't have to be that man. The end game. Now you've seen the 5 truths. 1. People are emotional, not rational. 2. Loyalty is conditional. Demand reciprocity. 3. Reputation is strategic, not accidental. 4. Conflict is inevitable. Always be prepared. 5. Niceness is weakness. Strength is respect. This is not about becoming manipulative. It's about becoming unmovable. Because the world isn't kind to weak men. It never has been. It rewards strength, strategy, and clarity. And now you see reality for what it is. The game everyone else is playing while pretending it doesn't exist. Machiavelli said it best. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But the ultimate truth is this: it is worst of all to be ignored. Final words. I shouldn't be teaching you this, but here we are. If this opened your eyes to a world you've never seen before, subscribe, because this is just the beginning. The next lesson: how to make people desperate for your approval, but only watch it if you're ready to see how deep this rabbit hole goes.